There we go. What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I am coming at you guys today with information from the OCG and Phantom Nightmare. We're getting Majespecter support. Yeah, it's been a minute since the Majespecter has been on the radar, and literally the last time we had anything relevant to the Majespecter was actually the last little bit of support for the Majespecter, which wasn't even directly support. It was actually one of the pendulum monsters for the Draco Slayers. And ironically enough, the only reason why she was relevant was, I believe, hold on, because I'm looking her up right now. I believe she was treated as a Majespecter card? I'm not answering that. So the only reason why she's treated like she has anything to do with Majespecter is because she says she's always treated as an infant. That monster is Majespecter, the Draco Slayer. So yeah, there is a lineup of things for the Draco Slayers, and I guess they're including their particular cards into one card. Or they're trying to unite the archetypes into one. And they're trying to bring things together, which is cool because that, is a lot of more additional stuff for the Draco Slayers. Funny enough, the monster herself, Majestic Pegasus, the Draco Slayer, she's a combination of the true Dracos, Majestic Paladin, and Majestic Maiden, the true Draco Slayer, and I believe Kirin, the Majespecter Kirin. So yeah, there's a lot. There's also some speculations about that too, but I'll get into that shortly. So why don't we go ahead and we take a look at the new Majespecter support. So first up is Majespecter Porcupine, Yamamashi, and I do apologize if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly. Level 4, Wind Attribute, Spellcaster type Pendulum Monster, 1500 attack, 1500 defense, with a Pendulum scale of 2. No pendulum effect, but for its monster effect, you can use this card's first and second effect once per turn each. During your main phase, you control a Majespecter card, a Majespecter monster. Quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target one Majespecter spell in your graveyard and set it. Its third effect cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effect. So just like the rest of the Majespecters, they cannot be destroyed by card effect, and they cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effect. So, standard monster with a quick play summon and with the ability to set the spells on the field. So, not too bad. Next up is Majespecter Draco. This is a rank 4. When attribute spellcaster type exceed pendulum monster. Pendulum scale of 5 and an attack of 2300 and a defense of 2000. So for the pendulum effect, you can only use this card's pendulum effect once per turn. If you have a Majespecter or Draco Slayer card in your other pendulum zone, you can add one Majespecter card from your deck to your hand. Then you can destroy one card in your pendulum zone. Monster effect. So for its exceed summon, requires 2 level 4 monsters. You can pendulum summon level 4. Yeah, you can pendulum summon this level 4 card. I think somebody translates this incorrectly, but I believe it's supposed to say you can pendulum summon this level 4 monster. Yeah, if you can pendulum summon for... Oh, okay, no, I read it wrong. If you can pendulum summon for level 4, you can pendulum summon this face-up card from your extra deck. You can only use this monster's first effect twice per turn. If a monster is tributed while this card is on the field, you can detach one material from this card to special summon one level 6 or lower when attributed spellcaster type monster from your deck. If this card is in your monster zone, destroyed by battle or card effect, or tributed, you can place it in your pendulum zone. I'll get back to that soon. Majespecter Orthoros, Nui. This is a link 2 when attribute spellcaster type link monster. Points bottom left and bottom right. Attack 1500. Requires 2 Pendulum monsters, including a Majespecter monster. You can only use this card's effect once per turn. If this card is linked summon, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for Majespecter and Draco Slayer monsters. Also, add up to 2 face-up Majespecter Pendulum monsters from your extra deck to your hand. When you add up, then you can add up to 2 Majespecter Pendulum monsters with a different name from each other from your deck to your extra deck face up. And the new spell card that they're receiving is Majespecter Wind. This is a quick play spell. You can activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. You only activate this card. You can tribute 1 Wind spellcaster monster. Just summon 1 Majespecter monster from your hand or graveyard. If you tribute summon a monster to activate, to the activation, you can special summon it from your deck instead. So this card, of course, is one of the. I believe this card is depicting Majespecter Draco, as you can see here. As of course, it is Kieran and True Draco Majesty Maiden together in the artwork. As well, she is holding a sword with the remnants wind that comes from Kieran, the Majespecter. The only high level Majespecter monster out of all of the Majespecters. The Majespecters, for those who don't know who they are, yeah, the Majespecters are basically a massive amount of spellcaster type monsters that were all pendulum monsters. The only one that is banned or restricted from the Majespecter lineup is Majespecter Unicorn Kieran, who was extremely broken at the time this card was out. The reason why this card is extremely broken is because during either player's turn, you can target 1 pendulum monster in your monster zone and 1 monster your opponent controls. Return them to the hand. You can only use this effect of Majespecter Kieran once per turn. And just like the rest of the Majespecters, it cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So a level 6 body, 2k attack and defense, that was able to return not only a pendulum monster in the monster zone, but also a monster in your opponent's zone, regardless of the position the monster is in your on your opponent's side of the field. So you can bounce back Kieran because it's a pendulum monster, and then bounce back one of your opponent's monsters. So yeah, this is mainly the reason why this card was forbidden for a long period of time, because it was so abusable by the amount of pendulum decks that are around. A lot of people are speculating that they could see that the next Forbidden Limited list, which the OCG is supposed to be getting in like the next couple of weeks, it's speculated that Majespecter Kieran could be off the Forbidden Limited list to help boost the sales of Majespecter cards that are coming out of Phantom Nightmare, as well as maybe even get more of the other Majespecter cards to have a boost of sales themselves. Because basically, all the Majespecter cards are out at this point. And most of the Majespecter decks are combining themselves with the Draco theme. So a lot of the True Draco cards are being precisely put together to support this card. If I'm not mistaken, the Majestic Pegasus, the True Draco, the Draco Slayer, I believe she's a field spell searcher, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It says it right here. If this card is special summoned by the effects of a Draco Slayer card or Pendulum Summon, you can add 1 field spell from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card from your hand. And funny enough, the only card I can see her actually getting is the only field spell that Majespecters themselves own, besides the Draco Slayers having their field spell, is Majespecter Pegasus, which is the field spell for the Majespecters. The one that gives them 300 attack and defense, and also if you tribute a wind spellcaster type monster, you can search someone 1 level 4 or lower Majespecter monster from your deck. You can only use this effect of Majesty's Pegasus once per turn, because I believe the card itself is them attempting to summon Kieran from the deck, but Kieran can't be such something from the deck because Kieran's effect requires that Kieran needs to be level 4 or lower, and Kieran's level. I don't know. Don't ask me these questions. But just off the observation of things that are going on and me looking at it, this is a really good jump for the Majespecters in terms of new support. But I think at a point, the scales are just extremely too low. They would have to rely on the Draco Slayer aspect of it to actually take advantage of summoning Kieran if they do ban Kieran. And they also, I think, would have to reword Kieran's effect so that Kieran can't be extremely broken if they decide to do a unbanning of. How would they do it? I don't know. Maybe that it specifies that it can't target itself, or that it has to target itself in its effect. I don't know. Konami is very strange about these things. But I wouldn't be surprised if the OCG's next premium pack that's supposed to come out alongside Phantom Phantom Nightmare has Kieran, Bumbuku, and maybe one or two of the spells and traps that the Majespecters have to support. Because why I said Bumbuku? Bumbuku is their searcher. And then they would reprint Kieran if need be, so that Kieran can circulate and probably have its errata if need be. I wouldn't be surprised if the TCG did that too, like maybe an Astro Pack or two. They decide to reprint Majespecter Kieran and rewrite Kieran's effect to have a errata to its effect. Because funny enough, all the Majespecters do not have pendulum effect. The only one that quote has one is Majestic Pegasus, but she's only really treated as a Majespecter card in terms of her monster effect. In terms of pendulum, I don't believe she is treated as one. Hold on, because I have it up. Is she treated as one in the pit? No, but she does interact with them. Blowing them up and then adding a Draco Pendulum monster with a different original name to your hand, and then you can choose to destroy one card in your pendulum. So you can even destroy her and have her move out the way so you can put another card in place. Also, she shares the same attack, defense, level, type, and attribute as many of the Magic monsters, but ironically enough, Porcupine, so she shares the same attack, defense, level, type, and attribute in scales as. Yeah, she's a link. She's a pendulum scale of 2, 1500 attack, 1500 defense, wind attribute, level 4 spellcaster. So, yeah, definitely someone if take advantage of. As far as Porcupine goes, I mean, there are tons of spells that it can easily take advantage of obtaining. Storm, Sonic, Cyclone, and Wind. So each of those particular ones you can definitely take advantage of with the effect of Porcupine. As far as the Link monster, as far as the Succeed monster goes, I think the Z monster is pretty good. Considering the fact that it has a lot of excuse me, utility to it. The thing is that the field spell is its own problem because they never changed it to say it's a Majespecter card, and I don't think they're going to have the chance to ever do that. Otherwise, this would be really great for the Majespecter to be able to go get your own field spell, because unfortunately, none of the monsters in the deck can go get Pegasus. Like, they literally have to use terraforming to get Pegasus and then activate Pegasus that way. As far as its own effects, I mean, this basically screams unban Kieran and have Kieran come out. That's literally what it's going to do. Literally. Like, this is going to be set up for Kieran. Who I believe now this monster this monster is the highest statted 4 monster in the archetype. But Kieran is still overall will be the second highest statted Majespecter monster in the archetype, which is cool. Addition to that, I mean, this is still really, like I said, this is a really cool card to play around with. A special summoner, an ability to summon itself as a level 4, and then on top of that, gaining the ability to summon more monsters by when other cards are tributed. That's really great for him. Orthoros. Never expected them to give them a Link monster. For those who don't know, what is an Orthoros? It's kind of like a Chimera S monster built of different things. I'm actually quite surprised they went with Orthoros because from my I'm sorry, Final Fantasy, Orthoros was the giant octopus. I think later games introduced that he was a flan. I think actually no, 12 was the one that made Orthoros a flan. 6 introduced Orthoros, and Orthoros was giant octopus, giant purple octopus. And he was in 13 too as an optional boss, and then he came back in Final Fantasy 1 um, games as like an optional boss as well. But I think you can only get that optional boss in the PSP and the Game Boy Advance version. It was not available to play against in the iOS version. But yeah, Arthros, from what I remember, is a I think in this instance they're making him look more like a chimera, where like the tail of his tail is in the form of a snake, his face is in the form of a lion, his body is in form of a lion, but he has wings like a um like a bird. It's weird because they didn't say Majespecter Griffin. It is what it is. Otherwise, I think this is a really cool effect to be able to add your face up Draco Slayer or Draco Slayer or Majespecter monsters to your hand and then replace them with other monsters. So while this card is a generic, link pointers, it's also just really good for the archetype itself to bring out more monsters to be link summoned and then have more options of things to go on. Because remember, link monsters, the thing is about pendulum monsters, and I say this when everyone brings it up, pendulum didn't die. I mean, pendulum didn't die. It just had to adjust. And it constantly finds ways to adjust itself, whether they're finding ways to spam their own link monsters for their various archetypes, take advantage of generic link monsters to survive their archetype, or just even so running run-of-the-mill really good or broken link monsters to survive their combos and get things going. So never leave out a monster or an archetype just because, things have changed. And that's definitely what we're getting out of the Majespecter. And their quick play spell is just awesome because this is definitely just a easier way to speed up the process of bringing out their other cards with ease. Especially because, yeah, I mean, we'll say it. They're going to unban Kieran. And they're going to make sure Kieran is playable with all of this. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but it is something to look forward to in the future if you're a Majespecter player and you've been waiting for Kieran. I hate to see what Pendulum on its own would look like, because, oh god, this would be really nasty to run into. And I love to see how they'll play it out. But that's going to wrap up the end of my video and my thoughts on the new support. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the new Majespecter card. What are your opinions on it? Do you think this would be really good for them? Do you see them unbanning Kieran to even, give more get more people to buy out into this? Because of course, stuff. But let me know all that in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps me out tremendously. Hit the notification bell so you guys are informed of when I upload more content to my channel. You can also hit the social media links. They are in my description box below, and you can catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/HarpiePlayerGel. With that said and done, thanks everyone for watching. HPJ signing out. Take care.